Why would decorated and well-loved chef Anthony Bourdain take then President Barack Obama to a small street cafe? Arranged slightly in secret between the TV crew and Obama's Secret Service, they arranged to meet in Hanoi whilst the president was carrying out diplomatic duties. And here they sat at a little cafe in Vietnam, enjoying Bun Cha. Bun Cha is a dish of a broth, of noodles, of little pork patties. And that's what I want to try and attempt to recreate today. Apparently the version there costs $6. I think mine's going to cost a little bit more than that, but not much. I can't claim my version is going to be super duper authentic, so I'm leaning on some friends, which I'll come back to in just a moment. But I need to get on with my pork. First, we need to make a caramel, which is a surprising basis for these little pork burgers. I'm melting brown sugar and water together to make a caramel, simmering them hard for 6 or 7 minutes until it forms a thick, glossy liquid, then pouring into a bowl to cool. While that cools, I'll chop up some garlic and some shallot and add those to the bowl. Now a little fish sauce, some salt and pepper, and I'm going to add half of it to my pork mince and then form into little flat patties. Then I'm going to take some pork belly slices, batter them thin, and use the other half of the marinade in there. I'm going to put both of those in the fridge for a couple of hours to soak up all that flavour. And now they've had their marinating time, I'm going to put them on the barbecue. Over coals seems to be the authentic way. I'm pretty sure you could do this in a pan or in the grill, but I've got the option on a sunny day to use a little barbecue, so I'm going to do that here. And they're just going to take a few minutes each side. There's a lot of ingredients, as typical for this region, but it all comes together very quickly. Once your meat is prepared, we're off. Now I don't personally have a go-to recipe for Bun Cha, so I've relied on 2 resources that I trust very much. 2 people that I've worked with in the past. That's Uyen and Mimi Ai. There's no one recipe for Bun Cha. It's one of those dishes that just evolves through the family. So therefore, we can aim at what we think feels good and what suits me and what I can get in the shops today. Uyen, famous for running supper clubs throughout London, and Mimi Ai is a very old friend of mine and has this wonderful book, Noodle. Links to both books will be in the description, and I thoroughly recommend you check both out for some Asian inspiration. Effectively, the one I'm doing today is a hybrid of both methods. So while they cook, I'm going to prepare some quick pickles using a carrot and some radish. Traditionally, this would be made with daikon, but I couldn't get hold of any today, so I'm just using the humble salad radish. Adding a little salt, a little vinegar, and some sugar. And I'm just going to let them pickle in the time it takes me to cook everything else. And also while they cook, I'm just going to pour boiling water over some noodles. And they will happily sit and just heat through whilst everything else happens. And then for the main broth that forms the sort of heart of the dish, I'm adding, which I think is called Nuoc Cham, and I apologise for my pronunciations in advance. We've got fish sauce, vinegar, brown sugar, topped off with a little water. I'm just going to bring that to a boil and then keep it warm. And then the only other garnishes left to prepare are a few handfuls of chopped herbs. I'm using coriander and Thai basil. Mint would work really well. And again, this is going to lend loads of perfume to the broth. And just a little red chilli to float in the sauce, just to perfume it. So why did Anthony Bourdain take President Obama here? Well, Obama spent some time in Asia, in diplomatic missions. If you've spent any time reading, listening or watching Anthony Bourdain, you'll know he likes the humble food, the food of the people. And I think they both enjoyed being somewhere quite public and where the locals would go. I understand now it's a bit of a tourist trap, and the actual chair and table they use has been encased in perspex, and visitors go there just to say they've been there in the way that these things happen. I wish I could have been there. I'm sure it's two fascinating guys talking about some really interesting stuff. If you're enjoying this, please consider subscribing. It's absolutely free and helps me out enormously. And while you're there, press that like button, and again, it'll let YouTube know that you're having a good time, and share it to others. On this channel, I cook all sorts of things, taking inspiration from the great chefs and testing out kitchen gadgets to see if we can make ourselves a better cook at the weekend. And with the meat just about ready, I think it's time to get everything served. My bizarre go at the Bun Cha. I noticed at the actual restaurant they slice the pork belly absolutely paper thin. I don't quite have the quality of knife nor skill to achieve that, so it's easy to see why that's a favourite. It's got all those classic combinations. It's a little bit sweet, a little bit salty, spicy, savoury, all at the same time. You get something new each time you go back for more. I thoroughly recommend giving it a go. I'll put a link to Obama and Bourdain's meeting below, and also links to both of these books, which are terrific. I'd recommend giving them a good look. I hope you enjoyed that. YouTube thinks you'll like this video over here, so go watch that, and I'll catch you next time.